My brother's girlfriend has an alternate identity of my actual child. I'm 34M, wife is 32F, brother is 27M, and brother's girlfriend is 26F. I'm looking for advice here because this is completely over my head, and my initial reaction to this is probably way off. My brother has been dating his GIF for about a year now. She's a nice girl, but at times her behavior is odd and erratic. She asked over and over again to babysit for my kids, girl and boy, 3 and 5. My wife and I have always said no. This weekend we had a barbecue, and she was acting extremely strangely, only speaking in a baby voice, not talking to any of the adults, running around with the kids. My wife pulled me aside at one point extremely upset. She has found her, in our 3-year-old's room, in her playpen ball pit area, sucking her thumb covered in our daughter's blankets with all of her stuffed animals. My wife was completely confused as to what was going on, and when she asked my brother's girlfriend what she was doing, she responded in a baby voice that she was tired and needed nappies. My wife came immediately to get me, and we both confronted my brother to ask him what the hell was going on. My brother got extremely embarrassed. He said that his girlfriend has dissociative identity disorder, and one of her alters is a 3-year-old girl. My wife and I don't know anything about this disorder, so we didn't really say anything, just told him to please go get her and keep her out of our kids' room. He went to get her, but within 15 minutes he still wasn't out. I went to go see what was going on, and his girlfriend was extremely upset, insisting that he calls her Evelyn, our daughter's name. That was the last straw for my wife. She told her to leave. Brother's girlfriend started straight up sobbing, using her baby voice saying she's confused and doesn't understand why everyone is being mean to her and calling her the wrong name. That night, my brother called and admitted that not only is one of her alters a 3-year-old, it's very specifically our 3-year-old. He said he can't talk to her about this because when she's not her Evelyn alter, she doesn't remember anything, and when she is her Evelyn alter, she isn't rational. My wife and I told my brother she's not allowed at family functions anymore, and she's not allowed around our kids. My wife was extremely upset and told my brother that his girlfriend was psychotic and that she wouldn't understand why he was still with someone like that. My brother is upset that my wife said those things about her and said he understands we would be upset about her having an alter of our daughter. But she can't help it, and we should be more understanding because it's a disorder due to childhood trauma. Did my wife and I handle this the right way? We know nothing about this disorder, and doing research into it, the medical definition doesn't seem to match the way my brother's girlfriend is acting. Edit. She doesn't have an official diagnosis. Putting that in bold because people keep asking. Apparently it was rude of my wife and I to ask if she was getting treatment or had a diagnosis because therapy isn't available to everyone, and self-diagnosis is valid. She comes from a very affluent family and definitely has the resources to get therapy and a proper diagnosis. Update 1. So, to start things off, my wife and I have done a lot of research into dissociative identity disorder, which I will call DID. Right off the bat, I'll be blunt here. I don't believe in the fad DID or anything that goes along with it. I don't think people are programmed to be systems. I don't think people make fictives over characters from TV or movies. I definitely don't think it's possible to make an alter of a specific 3-year-old girl. I think that's all attention-seeking BS. I don't know about the validity of actual DID, if it does exist, because at this point, it is being faked so much, it's impossible to figure out if it's an actual disorder or not. I definitely don't think if someone did actually have DID, they would be on Reddit casually talking and making videos about meeting the alters and BS like that. And no, I don't think being in the DSM proves any validity whatsoever. I do think if you really are convinced you have DD, you probably do have some sort of disorder that you should get checked out with an actual, reputable doctor. Now that's out of the way, my wife and I have heard from my brother after the party. He still thinks we owe his girlfriend an apology. We told him that he owes us an apology for not telling us about his girlfriend's erratic and psychotic behavior. I'm not using the term psychotic to be insulting. I really do think she's experiencing some sort of psychosis. My wife told him that due to his extraordinary lack of judgment in bringing her around our family and our kids, when he knew about this, we didn't really feel comfortable having him around our children without one of us directly there either. We encouraged him to get her to see an actual doctor and get checked out. We told him we'd be willing to help her look for doctors in the area if she needed support and didn't want to involve her family in this for whatever reason. But we also told him, under no circumstances will she be allowed around our children again unless she goes through intensive therapy, realizes what she did was wrong, and apologizes for it. Thanks to everyone for pushing us in the right direction as to what to do. We really appreciated all of your input and comments. To clarify, I'm not saying DID isn't real. I don't know. I think you all know what DID fad I'm taking about. I don't believe in the social media DID, the meet the alters and watch me switch BS. And yes, she does have a TikTok account where she does pretend to be my daughter. Final update. I'm 34M, wife is 32F, brother is 27 mens, and brother's girlfriend is 26F. My wife and I recently found my brother's girlfriend in our 3-year-old daughter's room. She refused to leave and was insisting her name was my daughter's. We found out she is convinced she has dissociative identity disorder, and one of her alters is my daughter. This is probably going to be my last update because we have since cut off all contact with her and my brother and are in contact with the police. She refused to get inpatient psychiatric help willingly, but her family put her under a 5150. Long story short, she approached our child while she was at the park with the nanny. Luckily, the nanny knows about the situation and removed our daughter immediately, contacted the police, and then contacted us. She tried to tell our nanny that we had told her to pick up our daughter and take her to her grandmother's house. She waited until it was close to the end of our nanny's shift to make it more believable. Luckily, the nanny didn't even engage with her. She just picked up our daughter and walked away, recording the entire incident to have proof. She ran after the nanny, telling our daughter, "Go ahead, Evelyn, tell her you know me. We're going to go to grandma's." Her family told us that there has never been any abuse in the family. She has never claimed to them that she has DID, though they have long suspected she has histrionic personality disorder. My brother has not contacted us since this happened, but my wife doesn't want contact with him anyway, and I agree with her. Again, thanks for all of your advice and well wishes. Though she's never allowed around my family again, I'm incredibly happy she's getting the help she needs and hope her recovery and treatment go well for her, and I wish her the best. Edit. We have cameras and have installed more after the first incident on the perimeter of our property as well as outside of our children's rooms. We're in the process of getting a restraining order. We have given our nanny a large raise. We are beyond thankful for her quick and rational thinking. ETA. The nanny got a raise immediately after this. My wife is also taking her for a spa day this weekend. Words honestly cannot express how thankful we are for her and her fast, rational thinking. We have cameras and have installed more after the first incident on the perimeter of our property as well as outside of our children's rooms. We're in the process of getting a restraining order, though it doesn't seem likely she'll be leaving the inpatient facility anytime soon. Concluded. OP indicated that this would likely be the final update given that they've cut contact with OOP's brother and the GF.